here. The pickup is not here yet. You have to keep going around. You can't stop here yet, sir. This is a section only to pick up and instant drop off.
They did say that
this is not
they did say that they're leaving right now. They're walking out. They said that.
All right, perfect. In order for them to do the full-on checkout to walk out, it's gonna take them a good 10 minutes. So yeah, just for now, go ahead and go around. Yes, sir.
I'm trying to get out of here. They're downstairs. See,
Alright,
I'm trying to get out of here, but I'm waiting for this guy to get out of here. Stay. It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Hey, Kimberly. Yeah, I'm upstairs at Terminal AA. That's where 90% of the people disembark. Usually only when you're going to a tour bus do you go downstairs because the buses can't fit up here. So I'm gonna have to go around. Give me some time. I've been waiting for a half hour up here. Yeah. All right. Well, I've been here. I texted you when I got here. I'm here. But you're not really supposed to be down there, Kimberly. That's where all the tour buses pick up and drop off. Yeah. Well, I'm in the right location. It's okay, Kimberly. It's okay. I'm coming. I'm leaving upstairs and I'm going downstairs, but I have to go around the port. I can't just pull in. Can't make a U-turn. I have to go around the port to come in. So give me 5 minutes and I'll be there. All right, stay there. Yes, stay there. picking up?
Over there. You can pick up nobody over there. Drop off on the other side.
They said they're at number 10.
Yeah, but they got to go this way.
Where's 10? Right here. Kimberly, are you with Kimberly?
Yes, sir.
All right. So where can I pick them up, sir?
Us two are right here. The rest of our party is coming.
All right,
They're coming off the boat now.
Pull up while they're picking them up.
All right.
Got it? Thank you, brother.
Jeez. Hi.
My son, I'm waiting for the rest of my family to come.
Yeah.
We had to go on first, but I give you $20.
Okay.
Yeah, they're on the move now, so
This is for to go to.
got plenty of room, man.
Stay safe.
I know, it's funny you said that. A lot of people that hire us say they only hired us because somebody answered the phone in English. You guys are all going to the Fort Lauderdale Airport?
Everybody same spot.
Same airline?
Yes, sir. Delta. That is fun.
No, legally, I don't know. Legally, I don't know if you have to. I really don't know. But I promise you, you'll be safe whether you put them on or not.
I trust you.
I mean, they're done here with the construction. This is new. They just built this 6 months ago. But they're done here. They're working on Royal Caribbean's other terminal down the way here now. Yeah. Actually, they're the only ones that'll have two terminals because Royal Caribbean already has a brand new terminal. Now they're building a second brand new terminal. Yeah, they want to have two ships here at the same time, and they don't want to use Miami-Dade's terminal because it's not good enough for them. And Miami's letting all the cruise lines build their own terminals so they can have something special like this. This is Royal Caribbean's terminal right here. This is their big one, and then that's Norwegian's big terminal. So there's three brand new terminals here, and then you have
And you said MCS is where?
MSC. Well, that's MSC is that's the newest one. But now the second Royal Caribbean one is under construction now. Down like by F, I think it is. F, yeah, I think they're doing it. No, FG, I think it's G. It's always slower in the summer because there's less ships, but we work in Fort Lauderdale and Miami, so there's always a ship or two in Fort Lauderdale and a ship or two in Miami. And usually if there's even one ship out of the 4,000 people on that ship, somebody's hiring us. So
Yeah, so you always have to.
kinda, yeah. I mean, we're promoted enough where even if there's one ship in either location, chances are somebody on that ship hired us. So yeah, it's pretty busy. Even in the summer, it's pretty busy. Yeah. I think you're the only ship here today, right?
Sort of looks like it, don't it?
I think you are the only, because there was no Royal Caribbean, there's no Norwegian. These are all Carnival right here. Then over there you'll see a little construction. That's where they're building the new Royal Caribbean, and then Virgin goes this way. And Virgin we left yesterday, so I know they're not coming back. So yeah, you guys are the only ship here today. August is the slowest month in Florida. So it's the beginning of August. There's probably only going to be 1 or 2 ships, maybe 3 ships a day here. Where during season there's like 7 or 8. Yeah. There's a line in the tunnel, so usually when you're coming in, you're stuck in the tunnel. They have these fans to try to get the carbon monoxide out, but it doesn't do very well. And usually, in and out, these tunnels get full, and they have to stop the tunnel because it's full, and then you're waiting on the island to get off because it's standalone traffic, they stop the entrance to the tunnel until everybody leaves, and then they'll let you back in the tunnel because they don't want everybody just sitting in it because it's not very safe. Unless you have a Tesla. Teslas are airproof, I heard. Yeah.
They stay short. They stay
Florida's always been busy in the winter.
Yep.
Because in the winter we have the best weather in the country. This weather right now that we're having right now, though it's hot and though it's great for the beach and it's very similar to the Caribbean, most people don't want to be in this weather. They want to be in the they come here when it's like
when it's 20 degrees by us.
yeah, that's when people want to come here, when it's really cold where they live. That's the winter months. So
GPS signal acquired.
I mean, it's great to go to the beach now and go boating and swimming and all that, but it really is. The sun is very, very, very strong, and you have to really know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be drinking water. If you're going to spend the day outside here in Florida in August, you need to drink like a gallon of water every hour. You need to wear a hat and maybe some sunblock on your shoulders and on your ears, and then maybe your sunglasses. Maybe you can be out all day. But other than that, if you're not prepared for it, yeah, you'll get dehydrated, you'll get faint, you'll feel like you want to faint, you'll feel nauseous. The sun in the summertime, it's over. It really is over 100 degrees every day, all day. The temperature, because of the sun. Yeah, and your organs, your body, it's really not made for that. You really have to be covered up, not exposed to the sun, even though people want to take their clothes off. You really need to be covered up. You really can't really be exposing your skin to the sun for even more than 15 minutes, I'd say.
We're off of Michigan. We've been unusually hot last month.
Yeah, I mean, everything is getting hotter. I mean, it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Every year it gets hotter from global warming.
Can't by us.
Yeah.
That's still really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, here AC is a must over here. You have to have really good cold AC. Otherwise you're not going to be able to make it. You'll have a horrible lifestyle if you don't have cold AC in your car and in your house or in your office, anywhere you go. All the businesses down here that are the most popular have the most freezing AC. The malls, when you go in the mall, it's freezing. When you go in the banks, it's freezing because they know this time of year, nobody's going to want to go in the bank if they know that it's not cool in there. And they want people in the bank, right? They want people in the mall. The supermarkets are freezing. Every place that you would think that you'd want to go and you go a lot, right now it's freezing in there. You think, well, why is it freezing? Because they're making it literally as cold as they can. Yeah. Yeah, they have security guards that all they do is open and close doors. They act like they're security guards, but really what they're doing is just making sure that door don't stay open, so all the air conditioning goes out. Because restaurants especially, the hostess is in charge of the front door. She's making sure that nobody just opens the door and holds it open. She says, she opens the door for you, and then she closes the door behind you. It happens all over South Florida now because of this weather. No, I was born in New York.
No cold too.
Yeah, I grew up in the snow, no doubt. I go skiing every year in Colorado. I like the cold weather. I don't do well in this weather at all. Not at all. But a lot of people do get vacation time in August, especially Europeans. And if that's the only time you can take a vacation in August, Miami's usually on that list, top 10, top 5, whatever. So people all over the world that get vacation in August, a lot of them are coming here. They're going to South South Beach. You know, they're trying to see what that's like. And that happens every August. What's that? Actually, no, not right now. It's not right. It's not. That means there's no accidents. Yeah. And because there's only one cruise ship. I mean, half the ships going to Fort Lauderdale. So if there's no ships, then there's nobody going to Fort Lauderdale. Normally, it is more ships means more people going to Fort Lauderdale around this time. Fort Lauderdale doesn't have MSC. They have Royal Caribbean. They don't have Carnival. They have Princess. They have Disney. They have Celebrity. They have Holland America. That's about it. Fort Lauderdale's good because the airport's right there. The airport's 5 minutes away. Yeah, and a lot of places and a lot of hotels will pick you up at the airport for free because it's right there. Some of them will even bring you to the cruise ship for a minimal amount of money, $8 a person, which is really good. But they won't pick you up, so you do have to find your own way off that out of the port. But that's cheap too because it's so close. So you do save money when you cruise out of Fort Lauderdale, I think. And the airline tickets are cheaper out of Fort Lauderdale than Miami anyway, which is probably why you flew into Fort Lauderdale.
K8 out. K8 out.
What time's your flight? If you would have let me know, maybe next time. Sometimes when the flights are around 5 and after, you guys are right around there, so I'll mention it. Sometimes I do a drop-off tour for people where I hold their luggage. I drop them off at the beach, the mall, or the casino, and then I come back about 2.5, 3 hours before, pick them up and bring them to the airport. And then I charge one more time. So whatever they paid for that trip, they just got to pay the same amount one more time, and then that's the drop-off tour. A lot of people like to go to the mall. There's a really good mall called the Aventura Mall. It's actually coming up here on the right, North Miami. It's one of the best malls in the country. A lot of people like to go there because they figure they've already been in the beach and everything on the cruise. They don't want to be in the sun anymore. So a lot of people don't go to the beach. They like to go to the malls. That's where I drop most of the people off. At the Aventura Mall, yeah. Yeah, it's coming up here in a little bit. It's actually. What's that? No, the Dolphin Mall is a Spanish mall by the Miami airport. You can Google this mall. This mall is one of the best malls in the country. It's called the Aventura Mall. It's in Aventura, Florida, which is North Miami Beach. And it's literally, you know, they say one of the best malls in the country, if not the best mall in the country. It's definitely the best mall I've ever been in. It's got 2 floors, and then it's got a giant brand new food court upstairs on the 3rd floor, with all restaurants and shops even around the mall. It's got high-end stores, regular stores. It's just a beautiful mall. There's an giant Apple store there too. It's like a 2-story Apple store, one of the biggest Apple stores besides like the one they have in Manhattan. It's like the second biggest Apple store that they have. They do. Yeah, I mean, I know, I heard a lot about that, but here they're expanding. Here what they're doing is they're basically building buildings on the parking lot of the mall, because when they built the mall, they built tremendous amount of parking thinking all these people are going to go in the mall. But these days a lot of people don't have as many cars as they used to, I guess. I don't know what the ratio is. I guess they're Ubering and people are walking to the mall because they built up a lot of residential places around the malls now. So the mall's like kind of like where those buildings are. That's the beach. Those buildings are on the beach. So it's right before that, right where those buildings are. Yeah, that's Aventura Turnberry right there. So now what they do is they take a section of the like Bloomingdale's is there, right? So they'll look at Bloomingdale's, the satellite vision of it, and they'll realize that there's no oil stains on those parking spaces. That means no cars ever parked there. And then they take those spaces and they build the building, and they'll make like an Olive Garden or a Red Lobster, or they'll make a Red Lobster or something that I guess they ask restaurants, do you want to be in the Aventura Mall? And the one that says yes, they say, okay, we'll build your building and you'll rent it from us. And then that's what they're doing now. So the parking lot is actually, instead of the mall going out of business, it's actually expanding because they're adding stores in the parking lot. Yeah. At Seasons 52 is a new restaurant they just opened up there. So that's the trend is at the Aventura Mall. See, it says Ives Dairy Road right here. This is specific exit of this express lane just to get to the mall. So there's an exit. This is an express lane from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, and you really can't get off of it once you get on. But they gave Ives Dairy an exit just to get to the mall because the mall is so popular. Here it is right there, Ives Dairy. Yeah. Yeah, Aventura Mall. Google it. It's got great stores, and it's a great place to hang out, especially in the food court, because upstairs in the food court it's got a lot of seating. You're allowed to sit in, you're allowed to charge your phones. They have free electric. There's great bathrooms in there. There's actually an outdoor little area to play for the kids where they play little hacky sack games and all that. And then you go down the escalator, that's the first level of the mall. Then you go down another escalator, and that's the second level of the mall. And it's tremendous. And it's all freezing air conditioned. Yeah. There's also a movie theater there too, an AMC movie. Yeah, there's an AMC movie theater. So a lot of times when people have late flights, they actually get dropped off. They go to a movie, they hang out in the mall, and then they pick them up later. Yeah, it's called the Aventura AMC Theaters. Yeah, it's a good way to spend the day. It doesn't cost anything either. Unless you want to spend money there, you can just hang out in the mall all day and not spend any money, not have to drag your luggage around. Yeah. so glad it's raining. It hasn't rained in a while. It's supposed to rain every day.
I thought it did rain here.
No, it's supposed to right now. This is hurricane season. It should be raining every day. It hasn't rained in, well, at least in Fort Lauderdale it hasn't. It did rain in Miami a couple of times. But it hasn't rained in Fort Lauderdale in like over a week. And that means that everything is burning. All the grass is burning and the trees are burning, and it's so hot. It needs a lot. Yeah, like if you look at the middle over here, see how the grass is all dead in the middle? And it's not getting any water? Yeah. Because, I don't know, I mean, you really don't get a lot on this part of the state because the hurricanes usually go in the Gulf of America. They follow the warm water, and the Atlantic water is cold. The Gulf of America water is warm. So that when they come up, when the hurricanes come up from down south, they have a decision to make where they go. They always follow the warm water. So the west coast of Florida and the Panhandle gets hit a lot. But Fort Lauderdale and Miami, we really never get hit. Maybe once every 20 years or something. Yeah. So it looks like this storm is in Fort Lauderdale because we're driving into it, which is good. I've been waiting for it to rain.
Is that where you're from, Lauderdale?
Yeah, I live not too far from the beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach, about 10 minutes from Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Which part of New York?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, you're in the city.
Yeah. That's a big reason why when you talk about the malls closing in Michigan and all across the country, if you don't live in a place, I think, if you don't live in a place that has tourism, it's not a good place to live. Because the reason why this state is so good and everything is good, it's because the tourists literally pay for it. And if you don't have tourism in your state, who's going to pay for it? You are. And the businesses that are in that state are going to pay for it. And the mothers and the fathers and everybody's going to pay to keep the state going. You know, there's only so much money the government's going to help you. The state has to take care of its infrastructure. It's, you know, everything here is brand new. I mean, and as soon as it gets a little old, it gets fixed. It's unbelievable how much money they waste, I think. But they do it because they have so much money from the cruise lines and from the tourists that we have no state income tax here. We're getting lower tax rates on our real estate now because people are complaining. I mean, the government here, Florida government's probably one of the best governments in the state. And mostly it's not because the government runs great, it's because they have so much money. I mean, they might think that they're great governors, but anybody that had so much money like Florida has would be great too. Plus we have Orlando. Look at all the tourism in Orlando. I mean, Florida has to be one of the most I mean, it's got to be top 3. It's got to be New York, Florida. I don't know if people even go to California anymore. That's ridiculous. Why go to California? It would be, and I don't think people are going to Vegas anymore either. I've been reading that nobody's going to Vegas anymore.
It's dropped 10% a year.
Right, so it's going to be, and Florida's increasing every year. So it's Florida's probably, New York is always going to be popular because it's the Big Apple, and you know people. That's the, you know, one thing about New York and Florida. When you go to New York, you never go back. So you'll go to New York once, but you'll never say, "Oh, honey, let's go back to New York." You'll never say that. But when you come to Florida, you'll say, "I want to go back." So we get the repeat tourism. Where New York gets a tourist and that's it, they never go back. Not that it sucks, it's just that there's nothing to do once you see everything. there's nothing to really experience in New York. I mean, well, you can go walk through Wall Street, you'll never do it again. Walk through Times Square, you'll never do it again. Go see a show. Okay, maybe you love shows. You'll go back next year to see another show. I don't know. You like museums? I don't know. I mean, maybe you'll want to go see another museum. You'll see the Smithsonian and the Guggenheim, and then what are you going to do after that? Metropolitan Museum. All right, now you saw 3. That's it. There's nothing else to see. You can do that in 1 week. So walk over the Brooklyn Bridge. Okay, that's cool. You'll do that once. Why are you going to walk over it twice? But Florida, you're always going to want to either go to Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. You're going to go on a cruise ship. You're going to want to go to a beach. You know, so I think that's why Florida is special too, because we not only have so much tourism, but these tourists come back, especially the Canadians. The Canadians come every year. Yeah, every year. They drive there. They drive a lot. Not now, not this time of year, but during season, they drive tour buses down here. They drive rent-a-cars, campers. So a lot of Canadians make a trek between Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day, you could say. They make a trek down here and spend a week here. There's tons of tourism from Canada. They don't want to go anywhere but South Florida. And they've been coming here since the 50s. Yeah, that too. I mean, of course, that too. I mean, they're knocking down office buildings every day over here to build apartments. But it's too expensive to convert an apartment building. I mean, it's too expensive to convert an office building into an apartment building. They just knocked down a perfectly good office building. If it's 50% under occupancy, it's going. And a lot of them are 50% under occupancy. The developers can't buy them enough because they don't have enough. They can't have like 10 projects going at once. We have some of the biggest developers in the world working here right now, building what they're building, and they can't even take on any more work, though the work is there to buy that office building, knock it down, and build a rental. And once they build it, it's fully occupied right away because everybody wants to live in a new rental. Everybody. It's the same price as the old rental. So when that lease is up, everybody moves out and moves into the new rental. Yeah. What the fuck happened here? Oh, it smashed into the gate. Look at that. Well, it was wet. He was taking that turn, and that's a front-wheel drive car too. So he was taking his turn fast. Probably tapped the brakes, lost control, went right into the fence. He's probably going to get deported. This is the. Look at this. This is the Uber lot. Look at the Uber lot. Those are all people sitting in their cars, waiting to get called for Uber. There was 200 cars in there. Yeah, they're just waiting for people to call, and so they can go into the airport. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the drivers are Haitian and Jamaican immigrants that don't belong here. They're not South Americans, they're Haitians and Jamaicans, all the drivers. A lot of people getting deported out of Florida, I'll tell you that, South Florida. That's one of the reasons why the roads are so empty too, because none of the illegals are driving.
They don't like it.
They're scared to drive.
Stop, you're going back.
Well, yeah, I think we're the only state where the governor deputized the highway patrol to be federal agents. Yeah, so if the highway patrol stops you, they used to not inquire about your citizenship. They would just write you a ticket and treat you like everyone else. I mean, you got a DUI, you'd go to jail. You got into an accident, I don't know if you go to jail for an accident, maybe. You get a speeding ticket, whatever it is, tint on the windows, whatever they were going to give a regular American citizen a ticket, then but now every time they stop somebody, if he has, he's allowed to ask. He wasn't allowed to ask before, and it's all on body cam. So they wouldn't ask me, but if they saw somebody they were suspicious of, like somebody that didn't speak English, or there's 15 people in a car, and they're all look like workers that came up a construction site, then that they're allowed to ask, hey, you guys, where you going? Who's driving? Whose car is this? I don't even think they have to ask that. All they do is ask you what's your social security number, and if you don't spit it out within 2 seconds, they ask you to get out of the car, put your hands on top of your head, because every American knows their social security number. The illegal immigrants don't have social security numbers. So one of the tricks that they do is they get in the guy's ear so nobody else knows, and they say, what's your social security number? And if the guy doesn't answer within 3 seconds, they say, put your hands behind your back, and that's it. Yeah.
That's good.
A police officer told me that, by the way. They don't say it on the news because they don't want illegal immigrants knowing someone's social security number and memorizing it. So that's kind of like a secret that a police officer told me that they use. One of the techniques they use. They also ask, what hospital were you born in? I was born in Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn, New York. Most people do know what hospital they were. Do you guys all know what hospital you were born in?
I know where I was.
Most people know. If you don't, it's okay. It's not going to be that suspicious, but they have a series of questions, and that's one of them. Is what's your social security number and what hospital you were born in? Yeah. If they're suspicious of you.
I can answer both of those.
Yeah, most Americans can. Well, your state is a sanctuary state, isn't it?
Michigan isn't.
Oh, it's not?
No. They wanted it to be, but
So the illegals are moving out of Florida because they know they're more at risk here. So you might have a lot of people moving out of New York and California moving here, but a lot of illegals, especially even if there's a family with only one illegal, they're still wanting to get out of here because they're scared to drive. And if you can't drive, how are you going to work? Plus, they're coming down on the employers. If the employers hire illegals, they're getting in trouble, you know?
they know it too.
Yeah, so the illegals are actually moving out of Florida. That's what they're trying to scare them enough to make them. They don't really want them to arrest them because there's too much administrative costs. They want them to just self-deport and get out of Florida. And that's what they're doing. They're scaring them, and it makes it look like they're cruel, but really what they're doing is just telling them to, you're going to get in trouble if you stay here, just leave. They want them all to leave. You said Delta, right?
Yes, sir.
Delta, okay. I know a couple of illegal Spanish guys that drive shuttles, and they use someone else's ID. So if they get stopped, they show their brother's ID or their cousins, and they kind of look the same. Spanish. Not that they all look the same, Spanish guys. I didn't say that, but they're very similar. You'd have to really critique it to see if they're really not the same person. So if they get stopped, they show their cousin's ID, and they're making a living and they're working, and I guess they're kind of legal because they are using somebody's going to be held responsible for what they do. I mean, the brother's going to go to jail then. If you let your illegal alien brother use your ID and he does something, you're going to get in trouble for it. So somebody's going to be held accountable, but it does keep them working. It makes them feel safer if they're driving. But the cop could also be an Inspector Clouseau and bust you by just, I don't know, looking at your face and saying, is this you? And then asking you questions and going into detail, and eventually you might get busted, Yeah, that's because, right. I don't think anybody's allowed. I think only Florida's allowed to do it. I think you got, is this Delta? I think you got curbside open here, so if you want to bring your stuff right there, you can bring it right there. I'm going to open the doors for you. Take the seatbelt off. watch your head.